Okay guys, here we are again with a little bit of mechanical stuff this time. The car I've got, here we go, the old HT, she came with a HR motor, a 186 from an HR, and I really wanted to put the original engine back in it, which I actually have over here, and you can see her there. Now she's a standard bore 186 that needs to be cleaned up, and it's the 186P, it's the correct number for the car. But the crank and all the stuff that was with it just wasn't very good, even though the bore's good in it. So I bought a few motors from a TAFE college that had shut down, and these are on engine stands. Here's another one here. Well, actually I took it off the stand. I've got a couple of stands now that you can run the motors on. But this one here is a 173. Actually, I'll digress a second. That one there is a 186P, which would have been ideal and would have been perfect. But you can see here, some smart kid in the TAFE has decided to throw a bolt down inside the engine, and they've made a very crude patch job there on the side of the block, where the bolt has hit the side of the conrod and knocked it out the side of the block, which made that motor useless. And as I pulled it down a little bit further, and the more I pulled it down, the more useless I found it, because all the bearings are no good, the crank's not very good in it, the cam's worn, it's useless. So it was rather disappointing. But this is a 173. Now the 173 crank is the same as the 186 crank. It's a 3-inch stroke, sorry, I think. This is a 3.5 inch bore, a 173, but a 186 is a 3.625 inch bore. So that's what gives you the more cubic capacity, is actually the size of the bore, which means that the pistons in this motor are actually no good, even though you can see this engine's brand new. It was brand new on a stand, and I really didn't know until I pulled it down, because I pulled a couple of other engines down. I bought 4 entirely from them, and the other ones I pulled down have all been garbage, but this one here you can see is brand new. So I'm very happy with that. So I'm going to take the rods, and which have been balanced, as you can see, and I'm going to take the there we go. I'm going to take the crank with the bearings and the cam, which is brand new in it, and the timing gear, which is brand new in it. I'm going to take all of that out, and I'm going to put it in that motor over there, which is going to go in the HT. So next trick, I suppose, is I'm disassembling this engine. Is to make sure that I correctly bag and tag all the components, so that they all go back together exactly as they've come apart, to prevent any problems. But the next thing I guess I'll have to do is take the original 186 engine down to the engine reconditioners and just make sure that the bore is okay. Have it sized to make sure that it is the standard size. I'm pretty sure it is, but my measuring tool's not so great. And then I will decide whether or not I'm going to rebore it, or just hone it and put new pistons in it. If I can just hone it and put new pistons in it, I'd be happy. New pistons and rings, I'd be happy. That will save me a lot of money. But now I've got a couple of cylinder heads off. This is off the 173. I'll just spin that over. Look at that. They're brand new. You can see they're brand new valve springs. It's all been chemically cleaned. It's spotless. The manifold did leak a little bit at the front, but it didn't go down into the cylinders, and all the valves sit very proud. So they're all good. But I'm not going to use that head, because these valves are not adjustable. I have another head over here, which came off the 186. Another head, not the one There's the other head from that 186. I've got quite a few bits and pieces around here, as you can see. That's the head there that I'll be putting on this 186 and putting it in the HT. All right, I'll get into this mechanical work and I'll give you guys an update as I go. Oh, by the way, I've also got, and I should go for a quick walk, in the old Land Cruiser, which has a 350 Chev in it, I might add. There's my K-frame and my panels. I'm taking this down to the sandblaster tomorrow, and that will all be sandblasted, and I'll take it back. And I'm in two minds as to whether to powder coat the K-frame or to paint it back in original Holden black. I would really ideally like to keep it original as I possibly could, because I wasn't going to do any mods at all. Just restore. But you know, the powder coating, it will really prevent rust for very many years, and for all intent and purposes, black is black. So as long as it looks like GMH black, it shouldn't really matter. Oh, debate. All right. Anyway, guys, have a good one. I'll catch up with you next time. Cheers.